let's do another Meanwhile on Snapchat. And this one is, well, pretty much just any old Meanwhile on Snapchat. But let's talk immortality, cloning, and for those horror fans, stick around because we've got some good old-fashioned haunting. Good news, I've got myself a new drone. Count them, that's 3. Now, it's the cheapest of the 3 that I've owned, and if I am honest, I have been spoiled a bit with things like quality and signal, range, features, those kind of things, but I think I can make it work. You're going to see a couple of intros in these videos, so I think let's try and stick with the theme. Editor Kris, this is important, this is for a Meanwhile on Snapchat. Can you snazzy up a cool intro just to get the viewers all excited? That's a no from me! Okay, at this point, it's probably the intro, so I'm gonna dance, and then act professional, and all sorts. The first 2 times that I've flown my new drone, it has not gone according to plan. The first time I nearly lost a hand, and the second time it was way too dark for you to even see any footage. Actually, I've got the footage. Why don't you have a look?
Okay, so the reason yesterday's footage is so dark on my drone video is because, so I have to take the memory card out of the drone, right? And then plug it into my computer and then copy the footage across. So yesterday I had, of course, because this is something I definitely would do, had left it in my computer, got all the way down to the field, tried to take off and it said no memory card, and I said, F, I know where it is, it's in the computer. So I rushed back, took it out of the computer, put it in my drone, went back down to the field. By that time the sun had set past the horizon, and then you got the dark footage. So today I was like, I'm gonna be much smarter than that. So what I did was I was like, okay, I must remember to take my memory card out. So next time, whenever it is that I want to film, it's not now, but whenever it is on next film, I'm gonna make sure that I have the memory card with me. I'm not gonna have that situation when I get there and then I don't have a memory card. So I took it out and then I placed it on my desk. And then obviously, because it's me, I forgot about that. And then I was just doing my thing, and then I look and it's gone. And then I go, F, it's tiny. I don't want to move my chair in case I roll it over the memory card. So I'm looking around very gingerly, trying to get up without moving my rolling chair. I don't find it. I don't find the memory card, and I go, okay, fine. Whatever, move on to the next task. So I go to the bathroom and I'm brushing my teeth, and then I lift up my arm and see the memory card stuck to my forearm. So I have now plugged that straight into my drone, so it is not lost.
I'll still put that footage on the contradictory droning folder where you can go have a look. That's where I put all my drone videos. Now, I know you're gonna say I'm not a vampire, but let's not get into that. That's a topic for another day. Why do people keep bringing this up? Anyway, okay, so immortality is something that's near and dear to my heart because of the animal involved. It's my favorite animal, so you're gonna wanna watch this one. The thing that is near and dear to my heart, immortality. Immortality, you're just saying that because you think you are a vampire. Think I'm a vampire? I think you'll find, oh, that's a story for another time. Immortality is something that I think we're gonna figure out in a few years, and I am not smart enough to do it myself. However, I know how they're going to do it. So I just want to log it here so that me and you know that I thought of it first when we figure out immortality. So you're gonna go, what? How do you know how immortality works? Well, first of all, we take a deep dive into the ocean. That's normally where you take a deep dive. There is something called the immortal jellyfish. This is a literal immortal jellyfish. What it does is, when it gets to the older part of its life, it changes its cells back to the teenage cells and then lives again. And then when it gets to the old jellyfish again, it changes back to the teenage cells and then lives again. In other words, immortal jellyfish unless something eats it, because it's kind of tasty. So a lot of things want to eat it. So scientists are going to go, hold on. If this jellyfish can change its cells back to the teenage cells, how come we can't adapt this into humans and change our cells back into the younger versions? And then we're gonna, oh wait, we can adapt it. Oh wait, that's how they're gonna figure out immortality. And then you're gonna go, oh no, but it's only gonna go to the devious people like you, Kris, who can sneak their way in, or the super rich people like not you listening to this. So you're not gonna get it. But just remember, even though you will have died in vain, as they say, I will remember you. Probably not, though. Okay, great. Now, I know that I said that when the consciousness stuff starts coming to me and bubbling up inside of me, I'm gonna make a YouTube series on consciousness, and believe you me, it is bubbling. Oh, it is bubbling. So I'm going to do that soon. However, let's talk some more consciousness stuff on Snapchat. And I know this is a serious topic, but I thought I'd bring in some levity. I didn't think I was going to do it. I just did it because I didn't know how to say the word foray. I can say it now. Oh, look at me. Foray, foray. But no, I couldn't do it in the video. After that very exciting but quick Okay, after that very exciting but quick Okay. Okay, after that very exciting but short farewell. No, son of a bitch. Okay, after that very exciting but short trip into the lands of immortality, let's get back to things that matter. Consciousness and how you can change the story of life. Yes, I get a bit excited about this topic. It's because consciousness is something that's bubbling up inside of us. Global consciousness is coming to us as a nation of earthlings, and it's something that in my head I know I'm going to be part of because of my destiny, so I do get excited. But there's something that you do wrong. And I know you didn't get a manual for consciousness when you were born. You don't really understand how this life works, but you have me. So let me explain it to you so you can start doing it correctly. Oh, you're still here. Often we think of things in terms of it's gonna happen again. It'll happen the same. Things don't change. I'll do it next time. And when we think of things in this way, we are doing things incorrectly because that's not how your consciousness and the story of life works. Can you just give me 1 second? I just want to talk to future me for a minute, and it's going to benefit you. EK! Hey brother, can you do me a favor? So I'm going to explain the story of life and how you fit into it, and you know, you're part of it, and I might need some graphical assistance. Can you put some flashy graphics and text and all that stuff on it?
No.
No. Right? Bit of a dick. Well anyway, I'll try and explain it well. Okay, so the story of life, that is what I call from the beginning of our universe getting made, but more importantly a little bit further when life started being made, and then the end of the universe, that's the story of life. So that's a big, big story. But you are a part of that big story. It's a tiny little bit that you're a part of, but let's zoom in on your part. So the story of life is happening around you. It has before you were born, and it will after you die, but it's happening now. The story of life is happening behind you, in front of you, around you. Your consciousness is locked into this universe, into this world, into your body. And your body is inside the story of life. You're one of the living creatures that has been created in the story of life, okay? Your consciousness is inside that body. And now, because your consciousness is from another dimension, your consciousness being locked to time means that you can pause time, take it from your perspective, and watch the story of life and interact with the story of life. You can change things in the present moment that will forever be changed in the story of life. But things are not going to be the same again. You can't wait for the next time. That's not how the story works. Once that little piece has been written, it's been written. You can't go back in your consciousness, although I have some thoughts on time travel, and then redo things. So once you've done this present moment, it's gone. You will never get it again. So the present moment is a gift. It's called the present, you stupid son of a bitch. Bleep that out, Editor Kris. So I just want to tell you that this moment is special. You might not be special, but the moment you're in is special because your consciousness is locked inside your mind. Stop doing it incorrectly. Live in the present moment. Remember the immortal jellyfish? Fine, maybe immortality is out of the question, but there is something that is in the question. Cloning, right? Because I've decided, and by deciding, I know it's going to be true, that consciousness is going to be able to flow into as many clones as you make of yourself. So I'm going to get ahead of the trend and make a couple clones.
And I stumbled upon a question that I'm going to need to answer in the future, and I thought I'll answer it here with you instead. When the technology arises that allows us to clone humans, am I going to clone myself knowing that consciousness will spread across clones? Wait, let me back up a bit. Your consciousness as a single entity is locked inside your body. It's a very lonely place, but global consciousness is coming soon. What that means is all of our consciousness are going to be connected together, and that means feeling what others feel. Your body is like a complicated tuning fork. I think I've said that wrong. I think it's tuning fork, but a tuning fork, but a complicated one nonetheless, connects to consciousness in another dimension and then zaps down into your tuning fork, which is your body, right? And then you have that one piece of consciousness. But you can take that when the technology arises that is clever enough to do it and copy it to an identical tuning fork. And because consciousness is like a river, you can flood this one with consciousness and flood this one with consciousness because there's loads to go around. But now you have two identical physical things in this universe, but they both are full of consciousness. But it'll be the same consciousness because the tuning fork is the same. Now, I have to make a decision. Do I clone myself knowing that I'm gonna feel what the clone feels as well, so that I can get double done? Because I have quite a few destinies that I need to get to, and I'm more like a sloth, so I work at a sloth's pace. But if I double that, I'll be working at a snail's pace. Now we're talking, now we are speaking with our mouths.
AJ Bat. You heard of him? He's the guy that invented the USB. It's not that important, but I didn't mention it in the next video. But for those that wanted something scary, ooh, it's time for the haunting story. The gentleman, actually I don't know him, he might not be. The guy who invented the USB said that his biggest regret in life, and remember the USB is in everybody's life, he's done pretty well for himself, his biggest regret in life is that he didn't make the darn things reversible. I mean, fair enough, it would be hella useful to be able to put it in either direction, but your biggest regret in life is the size of about my biggest regret this week, and I've had a light week. I know that time is not reversible. I understand that, okay? I understand there's a flow of time. You can remember the past, you can't remember the future. I understand how that works, but I think that I've cracked something and I can kind of see the future now. And I'd like to explain to you how I've done it, just in case you want to do it too. But I want to use a story from an old 19th century play. Okay, so let me throw that over there. You heard nothing. Back in the 1817, something in those olden day times, there was this village, and every year at the same time when the people of the village went out into the forest, there was a haunting that happened. So the play starts with the night of the haunting. So the people are getting ready and they're scared, and some people don't want to go, and some people do want to go because it's going to be exciting. I'd be in the front. I want to go. That sounds exciting. So they creeping out into the forest, and things start going a little bit weird. So the fog starts rolling in, and then through the fog you see lights pop up and go away, and they don't know what that is. It's somebody holding one of those lantern things, or it's the olden day, they've got a pitchfork or one of those banner I don't understand how the olden day works, but they keep going towards the spot where the haunting happens every year. And they get to it, and it's this cleared out part, and they are chanting in a circle, and this lights start popping up, and then you start yelling and screaming, and things start going a bit wild, and then the audience realizes what's happening. They are getting a future projection of an event on a highway where cars are stopped and people are yelling and lights are flashing, and something bad happens in the future, and that ripples back, and they are getting a haunting of the future. And that's, I think, how I have discovered how to read the future. So in my dreams, the one that I get all the time now, which is a recurring dream, which is a picture of the future, and I'm slowly putting it together, but that is how we are doing it, because our consciousness, I told you about this, remember, our consciousness is from another universe, not universe, flippin' dimension. Come on, I'm getting excited here. Let's stop it before this. Editor Kris, if you're putting this in, I'm gonna be so mad.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. It is what it is, okay? Just deal with it.
And that's just about gonna do it for us. So I appreciate you sticking around, and let's maybe end this off. No, actually, I was gonna say end it off with an outro, but I don't know. Editor Kris is gonna be a dick. He's not gonna do an outro, is he? All jokes aside, congratulations to you for making it this far in the video. I'm really proud of you. Look at you, full of surprises. You have been chosen by the universe to be a social sharer. Social sharer, what is that? It means a little bit of work, but mainly it's a privilege. It means you take the link of this video here and share it somewhere, probably Twitter. But if you want to share it on Instagram, for instance, then yeah, I've got a picture for you down below in the description. Or if you want to do Facebook, something like that, that is text, there's some text down below as well. But feel free to spice it up with your own personal flair, but likely you're just going to use mine.